Welcome back to Film Fanatics. My name's Miles, and today we are talking about the 1988 release, They Lived, released by John Carpenter. Now, if you haven't seen They Lived, which I understand nowadays probably people haven't, you've probably seen the clip where it's more infamous today of when Nada puts on the glasses and it's revealed to him that the world is straight consumerism and it's made to put you to sleep, have sex, and do vile, disgusting things, and it's ran by aliens. Now, you can replace the aliens if you're not so, into conspiracy theories with, the super rich or the elite or the 1% who holds in a lot of the wealth in terms of capitalism, and you can qualify everyone else who isn't the alien as a normal human being going through their life just sort of asleep, and that's what the movie kind of shows us. And that's where this infamous scene comes in, which made me want to see in the film. So when I got the opportunity to watch it in theaters, I saw it twice for you all, so I can deliver the very best content for you all, so you can leave here with something, knowing something more, hopefully wanting to see the movie. So, excuse me. But before we get into the breakdown, what I thought, how I can correlate everything for you to make it make sense for you, I want to go ahead and say thank you so very much for getting me to 25 subscribers. Like, we hit my original goal of 22, which is to get an entire football team, and we got, now we got Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush, and freaking the other kid, Trey Lance. We got 3 quarterbacks and a whole team. So we just need 1 million more subscribers so we can just, have some slack, have some fans, have some depth, so we can take on the New York Jets. Because today is 9/11. So we're gonna have to beat the Jets. And if we're gonna beat the freaking Jets, we're gonna need more motherfuckers. And that's you. So please, hit that subscribe button. Let's see. What's something crazy you could say to make you hit the subscribe button? Do it. Thanks. But to get into this, what I'll describe that scene earlier for, and then I'll get into my breakdown, is what John Carpenter is trying to display is a super cynical way of looking at the world. So I'll equate this into a film way in Marvel. So when you start off with Marvel in the Infinity Saga, when you get into those first couple years leading all the way into Endgame, we had our 3 main characters in Tony Stark, Captain America, and Thor. And all of these characters reappeared ongoing for years and years, and like every other year. So we got to follow these characters. So by the time we build up to Infinity War and Endgame, and we look back on these movies, we can see a clear-cut path of motivation, character development, and a lot of things going on, which built an overarching story, which overall led to their initial success. So when we see that, we notice that this isn't just a product. This is something well thought out that takes tons of execution, that takes years of preparation to deliver a product that's going to last a lifetimes, generational things. But nowadays, we get a lot of IPs from Marvel that are just projects. So we get Shang-Chi, Moon Knight, we get all these different things that now we have so many characters and we don't know the general plan. So now a lot of people are having, superhero fatigue, but this is really a cause from there's no clear-cut plan. Now we're just getting a bunch of stuff, a bunch of content being force-fed, and a lot of people are starting to wake up to that we're no longer getting this great dialogue. We're no longer getting great films. We're just getting products. And that's kind of where this movie and the cynicalism comes in. These aliens in the movie, in terms of They Live, they're forcing down these ideas and keeping people asleep to take over the world. And they're seducing regular humans into very wealthy situations so they'll be on board with them taking over the world. And one of the craziest parts of the movie is when they get to near the end and they're kind of in the secret bunker and everything, and they're figuring everything out where the signal's coming from, they let us know that by 2025, they will freaking take over. That's like a year and some change left, guys. That's that's insane, that's crazy, and that's a little bit scary, because if this is already going on, we're screwed, because it's 2 years left, we're done, we're cooked, like, OMG, we're done. But, not worried about that. If they come to me and try to seduce me, you're gonna see me in a Bentley. So, if you're watching and you're an alien, I'm on your side. I still believe in God, though. So, you just got to shut the F up and, not promote what they're doing. But beyond that, I'll get into it. The movie opens up with Nada, our main character, and in the time he's a pro wrestler. So, obviously, this is a man movie, a sci-fi modern Western. And I love that, because seeing this in theaters really gets you into the movie, because I feel like seeing this on your TV, on your phone, unless you're a real big movie enthusiast, you're probably going to look away. You're probably not going to be as as in depth that I was in the theater with a good crowd who obviously wanted to see the movie, who's familiar with it. But we open up with Nada, and he's very optimistic on what America's trying to sell, even though he's homeless. He feels like that everyone has this opportunity to make it and everything's even, and this American dream is still alive. And his optimism is met with a lot of cynicalism because everyone around him is homeless. So obviously they don't believe in this American dream. They see the real, they're real people. They understand that times are tough and a lot of people are going through this. So uber wealthy people don't have a grasp on this. But what changes Nada's mind is early often in the movie, the police attack all the homeless people and infiltrate them. But we understand why this happens later on in the movie in terms of what the movie is trying to show us and the plot of the movie. But really, this is just a good ideology of what goes on in real life. You know, the police come through, take away all what the homeless people do, and they gentrify the area. And now it's a nice looking area. And you're like, well, what happened to all the homeless people? They either die or get pushed out to another area, which is really crazy. And if you really, investigate how, homeless situations are taken care of, especially where the movie takes place in Los Angeles, you'll understand a deeper metaphor on what's going on. I'm not going to get into all that there, but after this incident, Nada realizes that maybe something fishy is going on, and this is when he retrieves the special glasses and puts them on and sees that aliens have taken over society and they're making all humans cattle, slave, and capital. So he goes on a great big fat mission where, if you see the movie, it's really goofy, a lot of bad dialogue, very funny because the movie isn't trying to take itself super serious, but it's trying to deliver a cutthroat message that this is potentially going on. And if it's not going on as to how extreme I'm saying it, or John Carpenter is saying it with aliens and, frequencies and all these different things, there is some truth to this and there's some merit. I'm not saying go on a big old conspiracy hunt and try to get everything done yourself, but definitely take it with a grain of salt and leave this movie thinking, holy cow, this is something crazy. So Nada and his compadre, they get into a huge fight. This is one of the most infamous fights when he tries to get him to put on the glasses. And it's a metaphor for saying that all the people at the bottom are just fighting with each other, where it's about relationships, whether it's about politics, whether it's about a football team, whether it's about a basketball team. People are fighting and they're focused on the wrong things. So all these messages all around us that say Samsung, Apple, they're all just messages to go to sleep, pre-spend your money, and do all these different things to get you in a position where you're not even in a position to have resources. You're not even in a position to worry about real things or worry about if aliens are real, because you're living your day-to-day life as a normal person just trying to get by. You may not want to be uber rich, but the uber rich are doing something that is going to, like I said, by 2025, get you going. So I hope you have ambition, and I hope you have something that you're working on that's going to put you in a position so you can be well off and make decisions for your future and your family. That's what the overall message for me of this is, because like I said, kind of cheesy dialogue. It's very funny. You just have to see it. One of the dialogue lines is, I came here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Nothing leading up to it. He just said it. He goes on a shooting rampage, so now he's wanted by the cops and the aliens, and now the aliens know that he's an awareness that they're there. Like I said, he gets in a fight with his compadre. This leads to him winning and his compadre putting on the goggles. So he sees everything that's going on. They link up with a bunch of other enthusiasts who also know what's going on. They're planning a revolution, and this doesn't go right. They eventually make it into the headquarters where Nada and his compadre, like I said, this is a science fiction Western, so a lot of shooting, a lot of plot armor, a lot of things that don't kind of make sense. But like I said, I think the overall message is deeper than what the movie's trying to display. So with all that being said, Nada gets to a point where he's able to destroy the machine, and everyone is aware that aliens are all around this, which destroys the signal, allowing real people to see the aliens, which obviously in the movie would have caused a panic, but that's where it ends. I'll also say that there is another character, Holly, in this movie that adds very great elements and very abrupt scenes. Every time you see Holly, it's going to start abrupt and end abrupt. So that's just something you got to look out for. But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed how much it made me think. I enjoyed that overall, at its core, it's just a science fiction western that make you laugh. It's just a guy film that, has depth at times, but at the same time, it's meant to entertain, and I think it does that job. And I think the overall thing is to get to a real conversation of what's really going on in society. And I think that's ever more prevalent in today's world with inflation, all these different things that can be of control. And you're really seeing the effects of where that movie was made and where we are now. So if you made it to this point in the video, I want to thank you so very, very much. My next goal is 100 subscribers. We already have 1/4 of that. If you're good at fractions and math, that's 1/4. So thank you so much for getting us there. And thank you so much for getting us, for all the future subscribers that are gonna get us there 10 times fold. Thank you so very, very much. I appreciate you watching to this point in the video. Consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Have a great day.